Are we going right into that?
Let's go right into it.
Hold on, I got this. Meg, I thought I showed nothing but love and support for Meg Thee Stallion throughout the years. I got cursed out. I got put in songs, all kind of shit in support and standing with Meg Thee Stallion through one of her most tumultuous situations in life.
Maul was the first person to come out and say that nigga shot her.
He was the one supporting so much that Tory Lanez put Maul in his hateful intro on his Return album. But for those that don't know, right before we started recording, the Meg Thee Stallion In Her Words documentary came out on Amazon Prime.
Yes.
We were getting a bunch of tweets that Maul was in the doc slut shaming, which is, on par. That makes sense. But then I was like, not with Meg. I feel like Maul is owed somewhat of an apology from maybe Meg or the editor. I don't know if Meg just found all these clips.
No.
Meg probably
maybe we should blame Amazon.
No, I mean,
I think Bezos cut that up.
It's fine. I mean, the way they cut it made it seem like, I think we were talking about the song WAP at that point, and I was saying how that, lyrically at the time, that was one of the most raunchy songs we probably ever heard. Two female artists sang on the record. That was just that record though, but they put that there like I thought Meg should like change her content, and
I don't think they cut it too soon. I think you finished that sentence with, but I like it.
It's around the 39-minute mark of the doc, and the last line Meg says before they go into a montage of internet and podcasters reacting to the song is her saying, "Female empowerment, my body, my choice," and then 30 seconds later, Maul says this.
Look at what we're listening to women say right now. She's a...
Like, why would a woman think it's her choice with her body? I don't even...
It's crazy how they cut and edit these things, man. Like, I promise you, I have nothing but love and respect for Megan's choice and what she wants to do with her body, what she wants to talk about, rap about. It's all love. But the way they edit that made it seem like I'm the craziest guy when it comes to, she got to cover up and she can't talk like that. Like,
you continued to talk about the history of Planned Parenthood, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, if you remember correctly, that's exactly what I went into right after that, Rory.
Yes, the Kanye West and Candace Owens talking points at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, where do we start with this Meg doc?
When is it out? It's out.
It's out right now.
It's currently out, but there's really one clip that seems to be making the rounds online, and it was her kind of saying how she lied on the Gale interview about not sleeping with Tory. Here's the clip real quick.
Gail King, bitch. First of all, I didn't know that bitch was even gonna ask me about that shit. Bitch, you always want to talk about this shooting. Why'd you ask me about fucking Tory? That's not what this is about.
Sorry,
I fucked the nigga like once, maybe twice on a drunk night. Bitch, you kept catching me out of my fucking mind.
Okay. That's that. I mean, she spoke about this before, I think, though, no?
During the trial, because she had to tell the truth.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we knew that.
Everyone knows that
every woman lies about who they sleep with. That's not, I don't know why people thought that was so crazy. But it is what it is. It doesn't change the fact of the matter or what was found to be true in court.
Well, we're going to look like pick-me's. We're not this misogynistic podcast that you think. When this Gale interview aired, we did an episode, I think, the next day. And the first thing we said was, she's clearly lying about that, but who cares? Yeah. We're here to talk about a shooting. She doesn't owe us who she fucked on national TV. Go ahead and lie.
Yeah,
that didn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
We know you're lying, but I said you have to go on TV and say who you fucking like.
I think people were trying to parlay that into she's lying about what happened that night.
If you lie about
my
who you'll
pussy
fuck,
is
you'll
not
lie
your
about...
concern, Gail. Like,
yeah, if you lie
even
about,
if I rap about it all the time.
The consensus is if you lie about who you'll fuck, then you'll lie about somebody shooting you, because those are like equally the same.
Yeah, those things check out.
Dumbass shit.
Yeah. I just didn't understand that, but whatever.
Well, the funny part was though, she really didn't think Gail was gonna ask, "Were you fucking Tory?" Because all the evidence around that time and the reports from Tory's side were they had an argument with Kelsey because she found out that Meg and Tory were fucking behind her back.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't think Gail was gonna get in there and be like, "Yo,
he beat."
So what's up here?
Yeah. Fresh off the R. Kelly interview, she had to go for it.
Robert,
I didn't think Gail would ask me that. We talked about the shooting. All right, well, let's talk about how the shooting started.
I mean, either way it goes, Meg, we love and support you. I just hate the way they cut and edited that part of that documentary.
Which is crazy with your ties to Rock Nation, that Rock Nation would do that to you.
Well, my ties to Rock Nation.
Like they would They would try to paint you to be this person.
Oh man. So Rock Nation is back in hot water.
Back in hot water.
Yeah, I mean, they seem to be back in hot water. All of this is coming out once again. The whole trial. Now Tory, he has filed for his appeal. His appeal was granted, I believe.
No.
It wasn't?
No.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
They're reviewing it.
Oh,
Which
they're
I think is
reviewing
his second time trying to do an appeal. The first one got denied. This
That's-
isn't
but
going
that's-
anywhere.
if
He's
you
doing
know-
his time.
Yeah, but if you know how the court system goes, this is what usually happens.
Yeah.
People file appeals. Sometimes they're accepted. Sometimes they're denied. But this is just part of the due process of what many inmates go through, is especially when they feel like they were wrongly prosecuted, or their defense team feels like we may be able to find another loophole in this case or in this sentencing. So that I don't think that surprised anybody. But I know Tory is he's suing, I believe.
Mhm.
He's suing his lawyer, Sean Holly, I believe her name is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's filing a ethics complaint against his ex-attorney for her alleged ties to Jay-Z's Rock Nation. Now, I don't know if that's because she represented other artists that are signed or have deals with Rock Nation.
She literally said in her statement, I have never worked with Rock Nation in my life. The show I executive produced is simply just named Reasonable Doubt. It has nothing to do with Rock Nation.
That's that new show where every episode is named after a J track?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it has nothing to do with Rock Nation. Like,
No.
She's never worked with them. And that's where I think people that are still on this Tory conspiracy side need to look at the logic here.
Yeah.
If they're fishing for this type of shit on the basis of this second appeal,
Yeah.
clearly the evidence is suggesting he did it.
Now,
If you are picking at this type of shit, a lawyer that has not worked with Rock Nation, that's how you're trying to get your appeal?
right.
Yo, she knows Dez.
Right.
Like, that's what you're doing?
listen,
You pulling
man,
for anything at that point.
Yeah, that's true. And
Which is, go ahead, use your appeals, do what you have to do. It's your right in our court system. But if you had a strong appeal, you could just go to the evidence.
right. That was always my whole thing. And back to that, just to move on, but before we do, my stance is still the same as it was. Obviously, Rory, you was sitting next to me when all of this first happened years ago, and I said then what I say now. If in fact Tory Lanez is guilty, which he has been found guilty of this, if he did do this, then yeah, again, this is the craziest shit ever. This is some shit that should never happen. A man should never pull a gun on a woman, let alone fire a gun at a woman. It was all unfortunate. Tory Lanez was one of the hottest artists at the time. I've always supported Tory throughout his career. I put plenty of people onto his music early before he even took off. But again, a situation like this, all of that aside, it's just something that we should have never witnessed. It should have never happened. And my thing is, cool, go through the due process and file your appeals. But I always go back to why not take the stand when the case was at trial. If you didn't do it, like if I didn't do something in the cases that trials, nothing my lawyers can tell me about not getting on the stand.
I believe the judge's son was interning at Rock Nation at the time. That's why he couldn't take
Oh
the stand.
yeah. I forgot his name, but yeah, you're probably right about that.
Jaguar Wright told me that.
Yeah.
Um,
But again, prayers to everybody involved. Hopefully Meg is still healing from this and moving forward. And obviously being shot, thank God I've never had to deal with that. But knowing people that have is something that you never forget. It's trauma that stays with you forever. So hopefully, to the best of her ability, she's moved past and she's healed from that and is doing well. And also still prayers to, I don't hate Tory Lanez. I don't know him, never met him. Well, I met him a couple times, but I don't hate him. But prayers to him as well, as somebody that is in prison, incarcerated. That's a rough time as well. Hopefully he's getting the help that he needs. And when he comes home, he's a better person and a better man.
Are you calling Meg out and encouraging her to clip that part out just to clear your name?
Oh, well,
she should put what you just said on her IG and maybe a formal apology.
I mean, let me
my bad.
DM Meg. Let me give Meg a piece of my heart.
No, Rory and Matt.